Hey guys, I'm Tim.
And I'm Dan.
Welcome to the Board Game Rundown. Today we're going to hit you up with some news, Kickstarters, and then we kind of have a, topical topic to talk about, right? Topical topic. I'm going to try to not do that again.
Good.
It is Memorial Day weekend when we're filming this. Yesterday was my birthday. Whoop, whoop. I got to play some games. Oh, my God. 22.
My bad.
Just the board game hobby drained your life.
That checks out.
Yeah. No, actually, now I officially have the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Oh.
I'm 42.
Oh, wow.
So that's the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Any
You were
of that?
actually, accidentally kind of close.
Yeah.
One number off.
Yeah, so basically half right.
Sure. I'll give it to you. But I got to play some games in real life.
Wow.
I was so excited.
Wow. Brag about it.
I know, right? So we played, actually with my wife, I got her for Mother's Day, Isle of Cats.
Uh-huh.
And we played it together during the week. And then I got smoked. She had over twice my score. And I was like, this game's really fun, but I am terrible at it. It's basically like you got these boats, and they're gridded out. And they've got different symbols on them for different rooms. There's like treasure maps, so you get things if you get that. And there's rats on the boat. You got to cover up the rats. And you are drafting cards, and you're going to use those cards to give you quests to score extra like endgame points, or there might be public quests where everybody can score points.
Okay.
And then there are these cats of different colors. That means each color is its own family of cats, and they're these weird Tetris shapes. But they're like cats laid out. They're pictures of cats laid out.
Yeah, isn't it like Tetris-y?
It is a little.
Yeah, okay.
So you're trying to rescue these cats off the island before this evil pirate gets there and kidnaps them to do whatever with.
You don't talk about that.
We do not talk about that. But I hear his soup is excellent on that boat.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what the secret ingredient is, but maybe one day we'll find out.
So dumb.
It is terrible. So you're rescuing these cats. You're covering up your boat, the spaces on your boat, and so you get points for the amount of different kinds of cats you have touching that are the same color, families of cats. And then you get negative points if there's rats showing, or if you have empty spaces on your boat at the end, so on and so forth. I had a lot of fun playing, thought I was doing really well. Turns out I was wrong.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Kelly had over double my score.
Oh, wow.
Over double. So I was like, well, that was fun. And then we had some family over to play games yesterday for my birthday. And Isle of Cats is a 4-player game. We had 5 people. So I taught Isle of Cats and let everybody else play. And my wife, again, proceeded to skunk everyone.
Nice.
I even played, she got up and, helped with my little guy for a little bit, my 3-year-old. He was having some stuff. She took a break, went, and I played her hand for, 2 turns. I'm like, I'm going to mess this up.
Yeah.
She was doing so well, I couldn't even mess up her boat.
Wow.
Yeah, so despite my efforts. After that, we played a 5-player game of Sorcerer City.
Okay.
I still did terrible. The more I play that game, the more I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's starting to click a little bit more, and I think that maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's just kind of a learning curve to it to get used to it. Have you played it yet?
Yeah, I think I played it twice. It was fun. I don't know, it's not one I was like, oh, I should buy that game. I didn't feel that way about it, but after playing it, I was like, oh, that was a cool, different experience.
Yes, that's really how I feel about it. I didn't play it and go, ugh, this is bad, but it was. It just didn't click for me like some games do. Some games I play and I'm like, oh, this is the greatest game ever. I've got to have it.
It's interesting that it combines that because it has that deck building feel to it.
Right.
But then you're tile laying.
Yes.
And build so it's this cool, combination of different things that I was like, I like this feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really neat. The concept is really neat. Haven't really aside from Carcassonne, but it's like Carcassonne but stressful because you're timed and you've got monster tiles that pop out and jack up your city. There was 2 rounds where I did not get to complete get all of my tiles out, have enough time because monster tiles jacked up my city and added tiles back to my deck.
You're right though. I should play Carcassonne and Sorcerer City back to back, and I think it would just make me appreciate Sorcerer City more.
Maybe
because I own Carcassonne and I like it, and Sorcerer City really is just a cooler version.
It's
to me.
like, oh, you like
So-
Carcassonne? Do you like being stressed?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
do
yeah.
this.
Do you like watching everything you built collapse?
Yes. Oh, do you hate fun? No, I'm just kidding. It's actually really fun. It's
Yeah,
just
I
tough.
liked it.
It's tough. But yeah, we played it to some mixed reviews. I think it took some people a little bit longer to figure out how the tiles score.
Sure.
But it was fine. I was just, again, glad to be playing some games. And then at the very end of the night, Tyler, who has actually been on the show a bunch of times, and I, because everybody else left or went to bed, we played our classic head-to-head of DC Deck Builder, and I destroyed him.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. You got after.
Well, that's my jam. Like, if I'm
Yeah.
good at one game, it's DC Deck Builder.
I'm going to just practice
it.
DC Deck Builder.
Do
now.
it. Challenge accepted. I will play as with any setup you want.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that game so much. So that's not really news, but that's what I was doing and was excited to talk about.
That's Tim news.
That's Tim
Tim
news.
news is important too.
So real news.
Real news. What do you got?
Do you have real news?
I have a couple little things.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm just going to get the big boy out of the way.
which
The
I
real
assume
is Gen Con
is
being
Gen Con,
canceled.
Yeah, and Spiel.
Yes. Well, Essen Spiel
Yeah.
got postponed.
A year.
A
right?
year.
So that's called cancel.
Right. I wonder if that's a translation thing.
Yeah, it could be.
But,
Guess what?
yeah.
Gen Con also postponed
Post-
a year.
no, canceled.
Yeah.
Postponed. Well, what's funny is that next year Essen would be it looks like the dates are a week before. So it's not exactly a year. It's
sure.
1 week earlier than
Okay.
it. So it's like, are they going to have the next Essen then a week later?
Oh,
so
yeah,
that they could
look
just
at
see it's
that.
just postponed. So
That's
you're making it
true.
up. And now you're
Yeah.
going to have the other. So 2 Essens.
That'd be funny.
That would be a nightmare for distributors
Yeah.
and game designers.
Yeah.
We're only going to release 1,000 games at
Exactly.
Essen Part A, and then we'll release
Yeah.
our other 1,000 games.
Well, release it's like a time stories type game, and you release the module at week 1, and then week 2 you're like, hey, look, we have all these expansions
Oh,
now.
yay!
Yeah. Oh, now I gotta throw more money at you.
So now I'm waiting to see what happens with Origins, because I know Origins got postponed to October, but with Gen Con being off the board,
And
And
Steel,
Essen-
which was in October, being taken
Oh,
off the board.
yes.
So yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So I'll keep our eyeballs on that. But I think if you look, there's going to be a lot of virtual cons. There's going to be Renegade Games, I think, is doing a virtual con. So there's going to be things that you can do online where you still can have access to these games, like early access. And but I don't know how it all works yet. I haven't done any of the research. I am
Yeah.
just aware that they
Exactly.
exist.
I wrote down
and they're
Gen
happening.
Con canceled. Gen Con online same dates.
Yes.
So that's all I know.
Breaking news. You heard it here first,
Yeah.
guys. You heard it here
You
first.
heard it worded that poorly first.
Also true.
Yeah.
Are you trying to compete with me about wording stuff poorly? Because
Not
We
even a
could go.
competition.
we
so,
could go.
so I have one other thing.
Okay, what?
Not huge, but I feel like we should start mentioning this kind of thing
Let's do
on our
it.
show. I should have done
Let's
more.
talk about this thing.
Honestly, should have done more, but this is the only one I care about.
Okay.
So I wrote this one down. The Kennerspiel nominations.
Oh, yeah,
were
okay.
announced. So I wanted to start talking
I
about
can
so
think of one of the Spiel nominations.
I'm going to assume I purposely did Kennerspiel because that's the more tactical games instead of
That's the heavier ones,
yeah,
right?
instead
And
of
not
the
like
Kinderspiel
Kinderspiel.
and normal Spiel des Jahres, which is like
Spiel des
family
Jahres
or
is just the
whatever.
game of the year, right?
That one, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But so Cartographers.
That's the one I know off the top of my
I
head.
figured it was. Good game.
Yeah, really good
Played
game.
it?
But I don't. So I was listening to another podcast and I agree with them. I don't think it's that heavy.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know.
You know what I mean? When I think of that particular award, I think of games like Root.
Yeah.
And things that are a little.
Or one of the other ones on this.
Okay, please continue.
Well, no, I agree. It makes me wonder, was it that hard to think of 3 heavier games this year, or do they just really like that game?
Sure,
I guess.
but you could put in the Spiel des Jahres, no problem.
Sure.
Go on. I'm sorry.
The Crew, which I have not played.
I'm aware of. Have not
I'm
played.
aware of it.
Sure.
Sounds cool. And then the King's Dilemma.
Yeah, and the King's
Much
Dilemma
heavier game than Cartographers.
seems more along the lines. But what's funny is I feel like Cartographers is going to win it.
Yeah, popularity contest.
Right,
Like King's
right.
Dilemma, I've heard good things. Crew, I've heard good things. Not as broadly as King's
Sure,
Dilemma, but I've heard it. Cartographers, though, everyone's played it.
Everyone has
so
played it.
game of the year,
And it's
everything
very
like it.
accessible.
Yeah.
It's not so light that it's a detriment.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's light enough that it is a
We've
positive.
had that problem in movies with the Oscars and stuff all the time,
Oh,
where
yeah.
a lot of the times the best movie doesn't win because it's not the most popular. Like that kind of stuff just happens. You know?
Agreed.
But that's it. Kennerspiel nominations. What do you want to win? I personally want Cartographers to win because it's the only one I've played.
I'm just gonna pull for the King's Dilemma because
Sure.
it sounds cool.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yes, and hard, like difficult and crunchy and solid, like a game
Snickers bar.
on that list should be.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was
but
going
also like
somewhere
a
else.
Snickers bar.
Yeah.
Are you hangry?
A little bit.
Okay. If you turn into Joe Pesci and start stabbing me with that pen,
Okay,
I'm going to
okay.
be very worried.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so that's it for news.
Yeah,
Unless
that's
you
it.
got anything
That's it.
else?
That's it
You
for
got any
news
other
for me. Yeah.
nominations?
No. For me, well, I don't know what came out this year, so no.
Oh, okay. You know what? Something we could talk about doing in the future. This is for everybody. Sneak peek.
Field or rundown.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Rundown de jar.
Rundown de jar. Rundown of the year would be us judging our own episodes.
Yeah.
That's pretentious.
Yeah, this one.
Oh,
This
okay.
specific
The
episode
best
wins.
one.
Actually, the one with the kapow.
That
So
was
last
a good
week's.
one. Yeah.
Last week's. But stay tuned. There might be better ones. But no, maybe doing our favorite games of the year
Sure.
towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like, hey, these were awesome. Or these were terrible.
Yeah. Awesomely terrible.
Awesomely terrible. But, okay, so Kickstarter. You got any Kickstarters?
I have a couple.
Okay.
Nothing, Nothing huge.
You go first. I got one that I'm excited about.
Okay, well, I'm just going to mention, if I'm going first, then the first thing I'm just going to say is, hey, guys, Nemesis Lockdown has a date now.
Oh, what's that game?
28th. Yeah, I know. So Nemesis Lockdown officially hits Kickstarter on the 28th.
Next week.
We've been talking about it a lot. It now finally has a date. Let's see. Carry the two. Thursday.
It probably
Thursday.
won't fund, so everybody go out. Everybody go out and throw your money.
But I'm not going to go into it. We've talked about it a lot the last couple of weeks, but it finally has a date, 28th. Figure we should mention that because we've been going in on it so much.
If any of that theme of space, survival horror, anything like that appeals to you,
Hidden Trader.
Check it out.
Not really Hidden Trader, but
It's
like Hidden Trader.
yeah,
like,
kind of. Yeah,
like personally.
Hidden Trader.
So dumb.
No, but check it out. I think it's worth looking at if you are at all curious. But be ready because it's gonna suck you in. It's gonna suck you in. Go on.
No, you first. That was mine.
Oh, that was yours.
Yeah, haha.
Okay. So there is a small independent publisher, this guy, who I was trying really hard to get to our protospiel. He was going to come, but couldn't make the arrangements. We were going to try to demo his game for him, but it just wasn't going to work out logistically. Okay. But his game, he has brought it to Kickstarter. So after several years of development, he's got it. It's already funded. It's still got like 30 days as of today. It's already funded. It is a $17 card game called Hero. Hero, the card game. It plays 2 to 4 players. You get a box basically of 100 cards. There's like heroes and bases, and you're drafting. So you're going to draft your deck basically. Then you're deck drafting, you're engine building, you're dueling. So in the box, you can play 1v1, you can play 2v2, or you can play a free-for-all.
Okay.
So you've got some options. But the artwork looks pretty good. The game's fully developed and tested. I mean, the game has been broken and rebuilt and broken and rebuilt. So it looks really solid. I'm definitely backing it. For a couple reasons, I've had some correspondence with the guy. He was very nice and passionate about his game. I follow him on Facebook, so I see all the development, watched a bunch of videos about it. So I'm excited about it. It's nice to see these little independent guys come up and and succeed. Like I said, his game's already funded. It's like over 200% funded. So it's good. $17. So, it's not too hard to take a flyer on a game, right? That's not super pricey. It's hard to drop $50 on a game where you're like, this might not be great, but I've got to help somebody out. It's like, $17.
Kickstarter scares me.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's mine. I like deck builders. I like engine building.
That sounds cool.
Drafting.
I didn't know about this one because he didn't make it, obviously.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's the Kickstarter I've got and that I'm excited about.
So 2 little ones. First of all, I am a fan. It's not an amazing game, but it is a fun game because it only takes 10 minutes. It is a timed game.
I like that.
Called Escape. You know Escape?
And? Oh, just Escape.
It's called Escape.
I'm aware of Escape.
It's probably called Escape the Temple or something.
Oh, okay.
Everyone just calls it Escape.
Sure.
No, but it's getting a rolling right.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so it looks kind of cool. It's Queen Games, the escape games, 2 to 4 players, plays in 30 minutes. It has 7 days left with a goal of 5,000.
I thought you said it plays 10 minutes.
Huh? Well, you're right. The roll and write doesn't. I'm saying Escape does.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm a fan of Escape, even though it's not like a mind-blowing game. It's a fun little like, hey, it's hectic. It's like roll dice as fast as possible, you know.
Sure.
So this is a roll and write version where you're moving around this mat and you're marking off the stuff you're collecting and
Gotcha.
stuff. So yeah, it's goes from $20 to $115. It's the $115 though is because it includes
a back rub.
all the past stuff of Escape.
Gives
the base
you
game, the expansions. Like basically, it's like, oh, you're a fan of this.
Theme or
the
story.
System, I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
Like here's everything. But yeah, so if you've ever played Escape or if hectic dice rolling interests you, like Panic Cooperative, then yeah, there's a roll and write version coming out. So that sounds nice. People
that
like
sounds
roll
good.
and writes. And then this one I'm hoping you can talk a little bit because I haven't played any of these. This is a long living series of games, and the new one that's coming out is called Tiny Epic Pirates.
Oh, Tiny Epic. Okay.
Yeah. So I've never played any of the Tiny Epic games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've heard pretty good things.
Yep.
A hit and miss, I hear.
Yeah, some are better than others, but they're usually all pretty good.
Yeah, okay. But Tiny Epic Pirates is coming out. Cool looking board with little miniature ships, and it looks like you're transporting cubes around. So it looks like, I doubt those are your players, so it's probably you are, transporting goods around the islands and stuff like that, and you're trying to get gold because you're a pirate and fight each other, right? That's probably what's going on.
And the fun thing about the Tiny Epic games, love them or hate them, they're all kind of innovative in their own way.
Yeah.
Like each one's different enough. And ironically, my favorite Tiny Epic game is not tiny, but it is certainly epic.
Oh, which one? Which one is that? It's not Space or whatever.
No.
I was going to say there's one that like constantly gets made fun of that is not tiny, but they just called it that because it's the name of the series.
Oh, no. Well, it's not actually called that, but it's made by the same people, and it's in the same universe, I guess. But Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea.
Oh, okay.
Is
definitely not tiny.
Not tiny or epic. It would take up your play area would take up this whole table.
Yeah.
Like it's huge.
That's crazy.
And there's 3D structures.
I love the idea of
it's
it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It is so much fun. But seriously, the Tiny Epic Galaxy is really good. Tiny Epic Western is a lot of fun. I haven't played, but really want to play Tiny Epic Mechs.
Oh, yeah, because that's the one where you literally, like, your guys plug into the mech
Put a little
suits
meeple
and
into
stuff.
a mech suit. Yeah, a tiny little mech suit.
Gamelin Games.
Gamelin Games.
That's how it's pronounced. 1 to 4 players, 45 minutes, $25 to $255.
Ooh, but I bet that $255 gets you a bunch of stuff.
Well, the main thing it gets you is it gets you in, like, signed copy or something, and it gets you your name in the rulebook.
Oh,
I think those are the two things that really gets you. The other stuff is cool though, art books and special deluxe edition or whatever, like normal kind of stuff. But then those are the reasons it's so expensive. Right?
Yeah, that's fine.
You're paying for that stuff. That one, Tiny Epic, is March next year. Currently slated. We'll see what happens.
Oh, to be delivered?
Yeah.
Sure.
And then the
that
Roll and
means
Write.
August.
Yeah. And the Roll and Write was actually November of this year. So
right on.
But that's my Kickstarters.
I got a question before we get out of this realm and into other realms. Because it is a sort of a hot trend in games right now. What do you think about Roll and Writes?
I've talked to you about this. Are you bringing this up on purpose? I am weird.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Now on to the topic at hand.
Yes.
I don't like roll and writes.
Okay.
I find them. I don't know. It's weird because I'm going to say I find them boring. But then almost every time I've played one, I was like, oh, that was okay. That was kind of fun.
Sure.
So I don't know what is wrong with just the idea of roll and write.
Sure.
Like, I don't know.
I'm very hit and miss.
Oh, yeah.
There's like Welcome to is fine.
Welcome to is fine. That's
My wife loves it, and I've got a bunch of friends. Everybody else, it seems like, but you and I absolutely love that game.
It's
Gonzo.
very popular.
I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like if I played it, somebody came in and says, hey, you want to play Welcome to? I'll be like, sure, I'll sit down and play it. But I don't know that I would ever say, hey, guys, let's play Welcome to. Like, I just don't think I would initiate it. But I love Ganchan's Clever.
Haven't played that one.
Love it.
Yeah.
Haven't played Twice as Clever, which I don't know the German version. So,
yeah.
but, You're So Clever.
Name.
Yeah. But I really love that one. Like, I sit and play that solo, have a great time. And then there's Cartographers. It's like a
was
flipping
cool.
right?
Yeah.
You know, it's rolling right, flipping right, same
And,
thing. I love Cartographers.
On Tour was cool.
I really
like that
enjoy
one.
On Tour.
Like I like that one more than Welcome 2. I played that one shortly after Welcome 2, and Welcome 2 was fine. That's the word I use for it. On Tour was cool, but I feel like it had that math puzzle aspect to it that was just interesting to me.
Yeah, sure.
And that might be why I'm not a huge fan of roll and write games, is because they really feel to me like you're playing abstract strategy games with a theme.
Yeah.
So it's like they're trying to take an abstract strategy idea but put a theme on it, and that makes it more interesting. And it does. Like, I like roll and write more than abstract strategy in general,
Sure.
I guess. But at the same time, it's abstract strategy.
The theme to Welcome 2 for me is like,
yeah.
like I don't know, I'm circling a swimming pool.
Sure.
You know, and I'm terrible at building fences and making the right. I'm horrible at it.
Yeah.
Horrible. I don't know. I just wondered because it's like, oh, a roll and write. Like, so you brought one up. What do you?
That's actually part of the reason I brought it up, is because I'm not usually a huge fan, but most people seem to be. It's a very popular.
And you like
genre
Escape.
or whatever. Yes, and I
So-
like Escape.
so-
Yeah, I got
so
it
it's
at my
interesting
house.
to point it
I
out.
own that one.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right on. Hey, one of the 6 games you own.
I know.
So that and Villainous and all its expansions
Yeah.
and Champions and Midgard, the Black
Yeah.
Sheep.
Why are you naming all these great games, Tim?
Well, I named a whole bunch of games.
Yeah, that's true. They were games.
They were games. So on to the
Funny
topic.
man.
On to the topic at hand. So sort of in honor of what's going on, I guess, for lack of a better, with the with COVID going on, we thought about talking about, and it's interesting because it actually is important. We're talking about games with first responders.
Yeah.
So we're not necessarily providing like a top 5 list or anything like that, but I just wanted to kind of bring it up because it's interesting. It got bandied about like in our discussion thread about like, oh, what do we want to talk about? And when you said that, the first thing I thought of is like, oh, there are a lot of important like first responder games, like
Really?
especially to our hobby.
Interesting.
You cannot overstate how important first responder games are to the board game hobby.
See, I'm looking forward to hearing you talk about this, because one of the reasons I was excited to talk about this topic is because I feel like there's not enough.
Sure.
You know, like you look into this interesting theme, and there's not a lot of games in general, at least that nail the theme.
Right. It's strangely, yes, it is kind of underused.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's because people are scared to tackle it because they want to pay proper respect to, like, they want it to feel like, these guys are heroes.
Right,
and
right.
they're scared of tackling that idea, or if it's just really difficult to design a game.
I think it's just difficult
Yeah.
to design a game around it, personally. But like, for example, the big boy, Pandemic.
Yes.
Right?
So that's an interesting one, because it technically doesn't fall under first responder rules, but we're obviously including it.
Right. It has to be, though, because Pandemic is what, like, next to Catan, is one of the first games that you would see that's not a mass market game in, like, Target and Walmart and, you know what I mean? Like, you're actually going to see that in big box stores. And it's huge.
It's huge.
Now, not to mention all the zillion
knockoffs.
Well, not even knockoffs, right? But like all the other versions of Pandemic and iterations and and things like that. And I was the first one to admit it. I really liked Pandemic when I first played it, early on in the hobby. But then I started playing games that use similar mechanics.
Yes.
And I just started to like those games better.
Yeah.
But there's no denying like how important games like Pandemic are.
Yeah, and not just that, but it has a very, while I do agree that there are other games that do similar things better, and I don't think Pandemic is like a staple anymore in like my collection, I'm saying. I do still have it. But I do think that it holds its own because of its theme, which is kind of what we're talking about today, right? Like that theme is very interesting, and there's not a lot of games out there that let you do that, like a group of scientists combating a pandemic that's killing the world and fighting off diseases. I just wish it was a little bit more thematic. It is abstracted with the card playing and stuff. But
I think the other version, or I shouldn't say versions, right? But the other games in that same IP definitely hit and hammer down on that theme more.
Which is almost why they focus like Pandemic Iberia, Pandemic this, because that can bring the theme out more.
And I have to say, I haven't played, but I really want to, the Reign of Cthulhu Pandemic.
I have it. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is that any good?
Yeah, it's good. It is quite a bit harder.
Yes.
And it is. I wish it was. It feels more constricted, but they probably do that on purpose. You know,
Sure.
the Cthulhu tentacles are wrapping around you, but like it doesn't feel as big. The map feels smaller.
Sure.
So yeah, but I liked it. Yeah, I don't know how I would compare it to normal Pandemic and stuff, but I mean you'll like it more just because theme alone.
Probably.
So,
I'm a sucker for that stuff. Another really huge game that does not get enough love. It's a little older. Flashpoint.
That's actually number one on my list. Not like ranking, but just because that is one that I own and play a lot.
Yeah.
I really like.
I have yet to win a game of Flashpoint.
Really?
Pandemic. Okay. So regular Pandemic, playing with friends and stuff. I have never been a part of a game that we've lost, including the first like 3 months of Pandemic Legacy.
Are you playing Flashpoint on the hardest difficulty?
I don't know. But for
understand.
some reason, Flashpoint...
Don't get me wrong, it's hard.
You know, like I'm in a building and it just starts blowing up. Everything is blowing up.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. And I love it though. I always have a blast playing it.
Hey.
But Flashpoint I'm a big fan of. I really like Flashpoint. It's a lot of fun. The theme is like on point, right?
Yes, they do really good. I wish it was slightly less. It's funny because the theme is very well done, and then they cover it with a very childlike art style and mechanic style, and it's just like, man, if they remade that same game but made it look more
like gritty,
dark, it'd be amazing. I don't know why they chose such.
So they need to do what Yellow did with like King of Tokyo and do King of Tokyo Dark, right?
Yeah, sure.
So, which I need to get that.
100%, yeah.
I need to get
well,
that.
is it still available? That was like really limited run, I thought.
Right? No, you can find it.
Okay,
you can find it. But I want a Flashpoint Dark.
Yeah,
the problem is every time I play Flashpoint, it's dark because we all die.
We die. See, usually I just so happen to accidentally be outside of the house when it collapses, and I have to watch all my friends die. No, but Flashpoint is a cooperative game, very that same kind of Pandemic action thing, and where you have the action points and you do your actions on your turn, and you're working together to stop a house from burning down while rescuing survivors.
Yes.
And, yeah, it does a really good job. Big fan of that game.
Yes, I have Flashpoint and some of the expansions, and big fan. Terrible at it. We need to play Flashpoint sometime.
Yeah, no, I actually literally played it. My wife, obviously, I live with, and my brother stopped by for a little bit, and we played a 3-player game or a 4-player game. I forgot. Sorry, his girlfriend was there as well.
Oh, right on.
But we played a 4-player game of Flashpoint just a couple days ago, and yeah, we lost. But yeah, it was close. It was close.
That's one of those games though that's so satisfying when you. Well, I imagine that it'd be so satisfying when you win because I haven't won yet.
And it does a really great job with suspense of like, we cannot let another thing blow up. You know, like that kind of suspense.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really, I am a big fan of Flashpoint. It's a lot of fun.
A Flashpoint Fire Rescue, by the way.
Flashpoint Fire Rescue.
Name.
So you're playing firefighters. There's a burning building. You're trying to save people out of the building before it collapses and the fire spreads.
Yeah, it's another game that does really great with the similar to Pandemic, where it's like, how do you win? Rescue 12 people or whatever. How do you lose? Okay, well,
anything else.
Run out of tokens. You know, the house could fall down. Like, too many people die. Like, it's just like, oh god.
So easy to. It's like one way to win and every other way to lose.
So we've done like medic kind of stuff, doctor, and we've done fire. So now let's cover some police.
Yes.
So this one's really hard for me. I'm because I have not played any.
Okay.
So I have them, but I have not, and I know what they are.
Sure.
But I have not played them. So I'm hoping for you to elaborate. So like, I guess let's get the big boy out. At least what I know of as the big boy police game is Police Precinct, right?
Haven't played it.
Okay, so you haven't played it either.
I'm aware of it.
So that is the big boy police game, like, and it looks cool. But yeah, I just haven't had a chance.
Have not played it. It does look cool. It looks like fun.
It's
have not played.
It's like a big tile-based board, and you guys are cooperative playing police, and it's another game where there's just everything's going wrong. There's gang fighting and bank robberies and all this, and you have to get everything out of or under control.
Right. It's like the end of Police Academy 1.
Yeah. I remember quoting someone else here a little bit, but I remember Z Garcia from the Dice Tower does not like this game too much, and one of his excuses for it was Tom was defending it, and he's like, I just don't get it. Everything takes place in like a 2-block radius. If life is that bad, just move. like why does everyone live? Like, there's bank robberies every day. Like, it's so funny. But yeah, it looks cool. I don't know how well it's aged, you know?
Sure.
But it looks
I
cool.
would play it in a heartbeat.
And
I would love to play it.
one of the reasons I was excited to talk about this topic is because I've been looking for great hospital doctor games. I've been looking for great police games, and it just doesn't seem like there's enough out there.
Right.
So yeah, please, someone make an like amazing police game where you really feel like you're like a partners of cops patrolling the streets and doing your job, man. I want that. Like, there's a lot of detective games, right?
Yes.
But there's not a lot of like beat cop.
Yeah, so I didn't put any of the detective games on my list.
That they are not first responders.
Right. Yeah, they're like, everything.
Great job.
Yes. Thank you. One of the big ones on mine for police.
Okay.
Bomb Squad Academy.
Oh, I don't even know that.
Oh, it's like a deck builder. You're trying to, as a team, decide like which wire to cut, and there's a timer. Yeah.
I didn't even think about this, but for first responder, yeah, Bomb Squad. I mean, Fuse is a great game.
Oh yeah.
Fuse is a great game. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you are the bomb squad. Then you have to defuse all the bombs.
So Bomb Squad Academy is like a super good one.
Yeah.
Fuse.
Yeah.
Fuse is a lot of fun and intense. One that I like a lot. I just put it on because I guess I like it. Have you played Good Cop, Bad Cop?
I wrote it down.
Ah,
I have
yes.
not been able to play it yet.
Oh, I've got it in expansions.
I love the idea of it.
It's a lot of fun.
Not been able to play it yet.
It's a fun twist on like the hidden identity, hidden role.
Well, that's why I was excited when what's it called? The Redcoats one came out just like a couple of years ago. Something in Redcoats. I don't know why I can't think of what it's called right now. But it's very similar to Good Cop, Bad Cop, but you are during the Revolutionary War.
Oh, sure.
And all that kind of stuff. And like I love the art style. I love the idea and everything. But yeah, Good Cop, Bad Cop. I've always wanted to play.
It's really fun. It's really easy to teach.
Yeah.
It's a good social deduction game where you're just kind of going around and accusing
cards,
people. Right? Yeah, I
think
think
so. You have 3 cards.
It's been a little while
you,
since I played.
And there are like cop cards and there are like bad guy cards.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's called. And whichever one you have 2 of is what
you are.
And so, and then you're trying to figure out what everyone
else
is.
So you can look at like one of somebody else's cards.
So you might see a cop, but you don't know what both the other cards could be.
Right. They might have all 3 of one
called.
Yeah, it's pretty fun though.
Yeah.
It's a good time. But I also like those.
Sure, I like them a lot. Again, the only thing with like that is, I want to play it. I love the theme. Not super thematic. Right?
It could be anything, right? It could
really
be
cool.
It could be Cylons and humans, right?
Sure,
or
Why has that not been made yet? That sounds awesome.
Right. I think just that IP is hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, it is.
But
let's see. Another fire game that I've not had the privilege to play, but I've heard really good things. It's called Hotshots.
Heard of it? Have not played.
Heard of it? Have not played. I don't know if it's just hard to find because neither of us have played.
I think that some of those are getting harder. Well, even Flashpoint to some extent is like tougher to get. It's just not as common to be found out in the wild.
Hotshots again, cooperative firefighting game where you're moving through like I believe it's forest fires in this one.
Yeah,
you're
that sounds
through a
right.
Forest and you're like flipping over tiles, I think, and destroying fire in the forest.
Right.
And, working together to save the day, and it looks cool. I've never seen it in person. I don't know why not.
Yeah, no, the theme looks really neat.
Yeah.
Seems really fun. Maybe everybody in California likes to play that one, but not them wildfires. What else you got?
Yeah, another one? No.
I've got one that I haven't played, but has always been interesting to me. Dice Hospital.
I want to play it so bad. Yeah, it looks so good to me. Again, I didn't write that one down for the same reason I didn't write a couple other games down, because I get it. I'm being a little too literal here, but they are not first responders. So
what, Dice Hospital?
Yeah, like a doctor is not a first responder.
Sure.
Well, an emergency medical technician is, but not all doctors. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
you just didn't want to say EMT. You just want to prove that you knew what it stood for. We get it. No, it's cool. It does.
I went to college.
Oh, well.
But yeah, Dice Hospital looks awesome.
Yes.
Honestly, the only reason I haven't picked it up is because I want the deluxe edition.
Oh, for sure.
The deluxe edition looks incredible.
For sure.
And I don't know if you can get the deluxe edition anymore, so I'm just like torn. Like I kind of am waiting for someone to sell the deluxe edition.
Right. Somebody will come up with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's one of mine. What else
cool,
you got?
Cool game. Well, similar to Dice Hospital in the basic idea, I believe, but on a much more a deep scale is Clinic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
haven't played.
Honestly, the main reason I've actually had a chance to play Clinic, and I didn't just because I was kind of busy and I didn't love the art style.
Sure.
Clinic. It's very I don't know what to drab. I don't know what to say. It's just kind of like meh. But yeah, so Clinic is everyone's running their own hospital, and you're trying to be like the most popular
We're
hospital.
the best.
Yeah, which is a lot of hospital-themed games are themed that way, and it's such a terrible theme for hospitals.
It's
Dice
capitalism,
Hospital is
baby.
the same thing.
Yeah.
And there's that one hospital game, I can't remember what it's called right now, where you're purposely trying to send all your sick patients to each other's hospital and fill up their hospital. I'm like, what horrible themes for hospital games. But yeah, so Clinic is like you have like this like multi-storied building, obviously not 3D, but you have like this multi-storied building, and you fill up the floors with rooms, and you treat patients, and you want people to come to your hospital because your hospital's best.
Right.
And the basic idea of the game, not taking in the very mean-spirited part of it, is very cool and interesting to me. Building your own hospital. I've been looking for a video game lately. It does the same thing.
Oh, right.
There's no good hospital video games out there.
Weird.
Weird.
So, you would think like maybe there'd be like a hospital tycoon, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. There's one on Steam now that I can't even remember what it's called. 2 Point Hospital, I think. Looks awesome, but it's very kiddie, over the top. Like, oh, it's like cartoony graphics, and it's like you cure people from like, oh, they have the alien head disease, or their head turns into an alien, and you have to put them in the anti-alien.
That's not even funny. How can you smile while talking about that? That sounds
has alien head.
Well, it's my wife's hand, but yeah, she does have an alien head.
Yeah,
but that might just be her face.
Oh, whoops! Wow.
And I'm homeless.
So Clinic, yeah, it looks interesting.
Sure.
Man, I want more police games. I want more hospital games.
I would love. And not just like, because there are the detective games, right? So not just those kind of games, because those are fun. But yes, like a actual patrolling the streets.
Beat cop, patrol cop.
Doing stuff like that would be super fun.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You should make one.
But how many of you guys played? I'm just wondering how many of you guys have played of these, because I've played 2 if you count Pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I played more than 2, but I haven't played a ton. I'm aware of them. I guess Fuse. You should count Fuse.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's not
if we count Fuse, I've played 3.
I haven't played Fuse, but I bought Fuse for family, and they love it.
Yeah, it's a really cool game. Another game like Escape I was talking about earlier, where it's you have 10 minutes.
Right, like
you
hurry
have
up.
to win in 10 minutes or you lose.
Yeah. I love stressful games that.
That's why I love XCOM. I get it. It's not a perfect board game. I love
XCOM's
the stress
fun, though.
and the communication.
XCOM is fun.
Game. It's similar with the XCOM. It's so funny to me that people hate XCOM, like they hate on it, but they love Captain Sonar, to where they're very similar ideas to me. Like obviously Alien versus Submarine, but the 4-man team, I guess, is not Captain Sonar's teams, I guess. Maybe that's what brings it up for people. But in XCOM, it's 4-man teams. Everyone has a different job, constant communication of like, okay, how much money do we have for this year?
Hurry up.
That kind of stuff. But
the best time I ever had playing XCOM, the guy who was controlling the money didn't understand how the money worked. So we had so much money. We were like, oh, this is going great.
So easy.
And then we realized, like, by the last round, somebody looked over and it's like, no, we don't have that much. Like we were supposed to be way lower. And it's like, too late now.
Because any money you don't spend in the year you lose or whatever.
I think we were taking loans. There was all kinds of
loans.
I think he had like a Monopoly bank next to him. I mean, it was ridiculous. I was like, this seems way too easy. I wasn't paying attention. I was focused on what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
And we won very easily.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Very easily. And a normally very difficult game.
Lose that game.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
But you know what? In XCOM, you're technically a first responder.
You are.
You're a first responder for alien invasion, which isn't real.
So if your aunt's got an alien head,
jeez,
boy, you're going to want them XCOM guys out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, I mean, they're on it. They're on it. I got one more that I'm gonna shoehorn in there.
Do it.
I'm gonna shoehorn this in. I put rescue polar bears on there.
Oh. Hey, someone's got to show up first to save those polar bears.
Somebody's got to save the polar bears. Yeah. But it's a co-op game. You're scientists. You're out there trying to, rescue, I guess when I was thinking about first responders, I was thinking about hospitals, police, and rescuing.
Sure.
Right?
Which is why when we first brought this topic up, at first we were using the term rescue workers.
Yeah.
That covers a lot
more. And I had already committed it to the list, and I'm like, I'm not taking it off.
Yeah. It's just that first responder sounds cooler.
First responder does sound cooler. Do we have any first responder games back here?
That's a lot of games to look through.
It is. Too many.
I give up.
I give up. Yes. These all right here are like Ticket to Ride is totally.
Yeah.
You got to build those train rails so you can.
Do you want your goods on time? Anyway.
Respond quickly. But seriously, in all seriousness, it's when looking into it, it's like, wow, how important is Pandemic?
Yeah, huge.
To the hobby. and getting other people, right? It's also a great gateway game. And even, like, I'm sick of it personally, as far as, like, everybody's like, oh, this is the best time to play Pandemic. We're all in quarantine. Ha ha. Like, yeah. I've already heard that joke 40 times. But in all seriousness, if you want to get somebody into some board games that maybe doesn't play all the time, that's a really good one to get people in and can play. And then you could play ones that I like better with a similar theme, like Defenders of the Realm or Defenders of the Last Stand.
Or a Flashpoint.
Or Flashpoint, 100%. Flashpoint. If you can get your hands on a copy of Flashpoint, totally do it.
Yeah, well, that's the two things I want to go. First of all, actually, I literally just remembered, I believe Clinic has a Kickstarter going on right now for a new version called Clinic COVID-19. I think it's literally called Clinic COVID-19, where you're working on.
Topical.
Yeah, I believe it's Clinic that has that. I remember seeing that, and I never wrote it down because, like you, I'm like, this is getting overplayed a bit.
Sure.
But yeah, so I would say if you're looking for, like, under this theming today, if you're looking for like a medic type game, I think, not medic, I guess, but like scientist kind of hospital-ish type game, I mean, check out Pandemic. First of all.
Most of the versions.
Well, that's the great thing with Pandemic, right? Is like Love Letter or something. It's like find the one that interests you most.
Right.
You know, they're all so different. There's the one now, I mean, it's actually a couple years old now, I think, but where you're on the jet. You know what I'm talking about? Like, so different than the other one stuff. So, like, just find the Pandemic that interests you theme-wise, and you'll probably like it. Will you grow out of it? Maybe. But, like, if this is your first time playing it, you'll like it.
Sure.
I think that goes over with most
And there's
people.
some games that I realize that are very basic and entry-level that I still love and will play all the time.
People love Dominion. I find it very, what's the term, like rudimentary? Like, I think there are many other games that do what
Dominion's
Dominion
a great
does much
example.
better.
Is a building block.
Yeah.
And I just like the things that they have built up on top of it. But Pandemic, super important.
Yeah, fire game is Flashpoint Fire Rescue.
Flashpoint
right now. Like, if firefighting interests you at all in a board game, the game is great. It has a great mixture of fun, but like difficulty and theme.
Yes.
I just wish it was a bit more realistic, a bit grittier art style and stuff. But that's my only negative with the game.
Yeah, it's a little cartoony. They soften it up, but that's fine.
They wanted to reach a broader audience.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
And then for a police game,
we haven't played Precinct, but I would say like Fuse or Bomb Squad Academy, both are super fun, very tense.
Sure, not police per se, but like that type of like like Fuse is literally your bomb squad. So if that kind of thing interests you, and it's dexterity, very fast cooperative dice rolling game where you roll dice, everyone has to take a die and assign it to a board. Next person rolls the dice, and it's very quick. You have 10 minutes to defuse a bunch of bombs. So but
Good Cop, Bad Cop is a lot of fun.
And
Social deduction.
Pretty easy to find.
Yes,
I've seen it.
Yep.
So good Cop, Bad Cop. It's a deck of cards. So
and
it's
cheap.
cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap. Very accessible. You can find it about anywhere. And then if you are really, really, really worried about the polar bears, Rescue Polar Bears has kind of cornered that market.
The real problems. Yeah,
has cornered that market. Mayday Games, awesome little polar bear figures, mommies, daddies, and babies.
So. Sorry.
Boats.
My brain's going to jump off topic just for a second because it's made by Mayday Games.
Yeah, we live for off
topic.
topic.
Have you seen the game Mayday?
No.
Or Mayday, it might be called. It's just very similar to Good Cop, Bad Cop. I just love the idea of it where you have the hidden things or whatever. And it has the exact, it's a pretty old game, but it has the exact same mechanic as that Thing game that you really like, the Outpost whatever.
Outpost 31.
Yeah, where you are slowly eliminating people, kicking them. So you're in an airplane.
Okay.
There is a terrorist on the airplane.
Bad.
Dark theme.
Sure.
But the point is, someone has to get in the cockpit at the end of the game and fly this plane. And so you guys are talking and looking at each other's cards and slowly I vote him out kind of thing. And then at the end of the game, whoever's turn it is, votes as many people as they want into the cockpit with them. Like, I'll take you, you, and you. You're not coming. And if the terrorist is in the cockpit at the end of the game, they lose, obviously.
Nice.
But so a very dark theme.
That sounds really interesting,
though.
Man, I gotta look that one up.
It's really hard to find from what I can see.
Well, I can see why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's probably banned.
Right.
But so it just made me think because you use a Mayday and it's kind of similar to Good Cop,
I
Bad Cop.
appreciate the boldness of the theme.
I don't know how old the game is, right?
Sure.
So it might have come out before a bunch of stuff happened. But I was like, that's dark as hell, but very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, first responders, they're important.
Super.
They're like the word hero is being thrown around a lot right now. I am being called a hero just because I work at a gas station.
Sure.
I don't think that should count. I think that's a bit of a misuse of the word. I appreciate it.
Right.
I think it's a bit of a misuse of the word.
The fact that just because we are essential workers, we both have been working through the whole thing. Fine. I wouldn't call myself, anywhere close.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You shouldn't. I would question your judgment strongly. But no, there is so many people working so hard. It's great, right? It's great what they're doing, and that we have people like that. Don't even think about it, right? They just go in and they're just going to do their job and do whatever it takes, and it's great. So this is our little homage to them. Talk about some great games that line up with that, and that was a good idea.
That was a good idea.
We'll do a better next week.
Yeah. We're not sure if we should. So we like doing top fives, but we don't want to run out of ideas or start repeating the same games too much. So we're looking for topics that are interesting like this.
Sure.
This kind of stuff.
We've got a few in our pocket that we're gonna bring out. But if you guys have anything that you want to hear talked about or you think is worth exploring, hit us up. Comment on the YouTube channel. Yep. We'd love to hear from you. And there's nothing that we won't dig into. Now, we may not love whatever weird, like super obscure. We might not get to it, or there may not be enough there to like devote a good, 20, 30 minutes to talking about. But man, if there's something good or something you think is being overlooked, we're your guys, man. Yeah. We'll look into it. Yeah. Because one day I'm going to drag you into the Cthulhu themed.
Yeah.
We're getting into it.
I've played a lot.
Yeah. You think you have.
I've even done the RPG.
You think you've played a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll drag you down some dark depths. But we want to continue to bring out interesting ideas and lists to you guys and keep it fresh for y'all. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Any other games that we missed? Or if you want to give one of us a copy of Precinct.
Yeah. That's so bad.
That's fine. I'm easy. Oh, yeah, we've got to find that Precinct game.
That's a good point, too, though. Yeah, games that we missed, because this was difficult to do research for me. Like, I was like, man, there's really not enough. Like,
right.
I couldn't have done a top 5 in this kind of thing, right? And
well, not a top 5 that you've played.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, I can't wait for there to be more. Let's get this theme going.
Let's do it. And I think there will be.
Yeah.
I think there will be, right?
Especially after what's happening now. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of praising games.
Historically, as nations endure hardship, like different waves of creativity come out of that, right?
Celebration of survival.
So you're going to start to see more of this. As long as it's not like what is it? The Last of Us? Like that's so dark.
It's like the best game ever made.
Have you played the board? Is it the board game? Is that The Last of Us? There's a board game of the version of the video game.
Oh.
And it is so hard and bleak, and it's like Robinson Crusoe, except Robinson Crusoe actually has sunny days. Yeah. It's hard. Or no, it's not The Last of Us. It's This War of Mine.
I knew it.
I knew
you were going to say This War of Mine. I have not played the board game.
Oh.
I've played the video game.
So I've never played the video game.
Yeah.
So tough.
I hear they're very similar.
So tough.
Because the game plays like a 2D scroller board thing anyway.
Sure.
But
we made it like 2 days.
Hey.
It's horrible.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.
He rants a lot. So.
I do. But,
I never rant. Speaking of, no, just kidding.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Well, thanks, guys. We'll be back in a week. Give us a like, a subscribe, the thumbs up, share the link, ring the bell.
There you go.
I was like, is your wrist hurt?
Yeah.
Carpal tunnel.
Ring the carpal tunnel.
and share the video if there's anybody you think, would be interested.
Yeah.
Or you just want to torment them with two guys blathering on for a little bit.
That's fine, too. Look at these two idiots. That's fine.
Yeah, look at these dummies.
That's what I say when I watch it. So
all the time. All the time. But I've been Tim.
I've been Dan.
Thanks for watching.
In other news.
Yeah. Other news, Dan smells, and I can tell because he's right next to me.
That's understandable.
If you like what you saw,
if you want to see us make more content like this,
please hit that thumbs up.
Go ahead and subscribe.
Give us a share on social media.
Remember to ring that little bell, it really helps.
Be sure to check out our unboxing videos.
Don't forget we have reviews.
And also the news show.
Thanks for watching the Board Game Rundown.